And we're here at Monster Fest Mania here in Akron, Ohio, here in the 2016, the very first Monster Fest Mania. And what an honor it is to have him with me next to Mr. Fritz the Night Owl.
Well, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here.
Listen to that voice. It's just absolutely amazing. Now, before you were Fritz, you were many things, but what were you just before you were Fritz?
I was a radio DJ playing primarily modern jazz, you know, the heavy-duty stuff, Miles Davis, Charlie Mingus, Shelly Manne, Teddy Edwards, Houston Person, and that not the smooth jazz stuff that's, right. You know,
Kenny G's,
the Kenny G. No, yeah, I played the hardcore stuff.
The hardcore
Miles
jazz.
Mingus, Dizzy, Charlie Parker.
And what kind of brought you over to television? Because what happened is Fritz ended up on television for
17 years.
17 years.
7 nights a week.
Hosting a movie 7 nights a week, which is really unfathomable, but you did it.
Yeah, it was actually 2 nights were pre-taped, but then the other 5 nights were live. And
Friday was
Double Chiller. That was now people think of me only as a horror host, but our program director was a movie junkie. I mean, and he had the money to buy the best movie packages offered. So we had like Raging Bull with Robert De Niro, and we had all the great sci-fi films, and we had all the Universal horror films, and we had Fred and Ginger and Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra and Elvis and Godzilla. And through the week, we showed every, westerns, war pictures, all different things. And then Friday was Double Chiller. And that, of course, was the night when kids, they get to be 6, 7, 8 years old, right. And their parents, well, it's Saturday, they don't have school or church or anything, and then let them stay up till midnight and watch Double Chiller, and they fall asleep during it or stay awake till 4 in the morning when it's over, and then they'll go to bed. So more people remember the Chiller version than they do what I did through the week. Except the movie, the real hardcore movie people. Right. Like we show Metropolis, for example, and I mean, it took a real movie hardcore fanatic, but we showed it. And like on Double Chiller, we had such my boss, we included sci-fi, superhero, sword and sandal, like we showed the Hercules was part of a superhero thing. We even showed Psycho as a Chiller feature, and we showed like Helter Skelter Part 1 and 2 as a Double Chiller.
So they really paid out the money to get these movies.
And we also did like The Creeping Terror, and They Saved Hitler's Brain, and The Blob, and Green Slime. So it was really, it was a wide mixture. For example, like remember the Spider-Man TV series?
Yes.
Well, they took a lot of those episodes, put them together,
right.
And so we would show, as part of Chiller Theater, it wasn't unusual for Spider-Man or Tarzan to show up, or if there was a...
Unless they were in the same movie, that'd be a bit unusual.
Yeah, right. Well, it'd be kind of an interesting...
That would be interesting.
The way they're having comics crossovers now.
True.
I mean,
and movie crossovers.
Well, but I mean, Batman and Superman.
Right.
I'm sorry, not Batman. Batman and Tarzan.
Okay.
Made a comic book together.
They did. Okay.
Oh yeah. So.
And then you had Superman and Batman in the movie, just
right. And then there's a Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's a big, oversized comic book.
Okay.
Came out in the 70s. Oh yeah. So and then. A lot more crossovers. But anyway, Chiller was not just rubber monster movies.
Okay.
In the sense that, as I say, you could show a heavy, hardcore picture like Helter Skelter, or Psycho, or some of the Hitchcock films that were suspenseful. Well, like we showed Charade, Cary Grant and who was the lady? Like Cary Grant and
right.
James Coburn was in it, and Walter Matthau, Audrey Hepburn. Right. So I mean, that also showed up as part of the 21st Century Night Owl Theater. How the owners of that film let the rights pass into public domain, we'll never know, but we showed it as part of the...
Probably was just an error.
Yeah.
But now, you being a successful jazz disc jockey, what brought you to want to go do the television?
Oh, we got a program director in at radio that was a hardcore... programmed radio thing. He believed people only listened to radio for 15 minutes to a half hour, and in that 15 minutes to a half hour, they wanted to know exactly what they were going to hear. So he had a 20-song playlist that 6 days a week for 4 hours a day, we had to play just those 20 songs.
You can find sponsors for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was called Formula Radio, Format Radio. But prior to that, it was like, if I wanted to play Miles Davis followed by Kate Smith followed by Led Zeppelin, and I could bring those, and then Dizzy Gillespie, and I could bring all of those together, the station could care less. You know, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Peggy Lee. It was like, play what you want, say what you want, just hit CBS News on time and get all the commercials. So when we went to this 20-song playlist, I mean, it was, terrible. I mean, plus the fact that all ad-libbage was forbidden. I mean, it was like, hey, number 27, that's the Fabulous Fabian on WBNS AM radio, 1460 on your dial. Push a button, the music's, and here's the new one by Frank Sinatra, My Way. Push the button, and there's the music, you know. So anyway, a job as a booth announcer, staff announcer, opened up at Channel 10, and since the Channel 10 was owned by the same people that owned the radio station, I said, you know, I want to go over to TV and be a staff announcer there.